What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome along to another video, and today I'm taking out a Ducati Multistrada Pikes Peak Edition 2018. As some of you may know, I've got the Aprilia Tuono 1100 2021 model, and I tend to not have a bike for too long, so I'm starting to think about what next, and I'm starting to move into the realm of adventure touring style motorcycles. When it comes to recording these videos, the amount of kit and equipment you need to take with you is unreal. On average, I've got a full day stack of electronics, cameras, 360s, batteries, chargers, power packs, everything, you name it. So being on a super naked Tuono doesn't help. I've always got to have the day sack. So it's something like this that can hold a bit of luggage, but I still got that sporty feel to it. For me, I think would be an absolute perfect choice for the next couple of years. So here I am. This is the first bike I'm testing out. This is a second-hand bike, currently from Whole Shot in Yeovil. So once again, thank you very much for them for lending me this bike. So if I'm kind of toying up between the V4 variant of the Multistrada, a newer V2 Multistrada, or potentially a 1290 Super Adventure. Leave a comment below if you've got a touring bike and what one have you got. When this bike was brand new, it was pumping out at about 20 grand. At the minute, it's coming up to 4 years old, and it is still £16,500, so it is not a cheap bike. Cost is definitely something that's going to come into it when I make my choice, when I make my purchase. Yeah, I've got the Tuono, that'll help out for some of the deposit. Being an older model, there are plenty of videos on YouTube showing this bike when it was brand new and all the technology that comes with it. So I'm just going to run through it quickly. I'm not going to take you through all the different settings and the rider modes, etc. that you can have with this bike. Being the Pikes Peak Edition, this has got the exhaust on it. It's got the forged aluminium wheels, so they are a lot lighter, and you definitely can feel the weight transference. It flicks beautifully from side to side. That's something I want. I'm not saying I can chew up the miles, comfortable, but when I get into the twisties, but once I'm in the twisties, something that can handle itself as well. On this, we've got the carbon shield at the front. It is adjustable. We've got the hand guards. We've got different rider modes, cruise control, heated grips. It's got the bags on it behind me. It's got Olin shocks, front and rear. Not electronic, but they are fully adjustable. So as a touring style bike, it's kind of got everything you need. Mirrors, really good. Probably some of the best mirrors I've seen. Less than a quarter of my arm takes up onto the mirror. What I like with the Ducatis and the KTM is their engines. They've just got something about them. They're not that super smooth inline 4 that you find with the BMWs. It's got that punch, it's got the power. I am noticing there is quite a lot of vibrations through my backside. If I was to do a long ride, I think something like that, the vibrations would start to get on my nerves. This does also have shifter up and down, which is really nice to see. It's not the smoothest shifter, alright, there's a little bit of a clunky feel, but nothing too bad. I was on the Kawasaki ZX2 the other day. That video will be in the top corner right now. If you want to go see that or watch it after, please do. But that shifter was absolutely beautiful. Kawasaki's done an amazing job with that transmission. Not only do me and Zoe want to go do a bit of travelling on the bikes, we want to do a little bit of off-road, a little bit of hard pack green laning. Something that has an enduro capability like this, or the KTM 1290, would, I think, satisfy my needs, my urges. We used to have dirt bikes. At the minute, I think having one bike that kind of 80% road, 20% dirt would satisfy the urge to stop us buying another dirt bike each. Brakes are pretty good. They've got that nice progression feeling to them. Something on a touring style bike, you don't want really sharp brakes, but when you start getting on it, they're nice and gentle. Then if you need to brake a little bit harder, they'll definitely get you stopped in time. A couple of times now I've come to a stoplight and this has got the RNG crash protection on. I keep hitting my shin on it and it bloody hurts. Once again, for today's ride I am using the Calimoto app. So I was outside Whole Shot, I put in I wanted to do a 45-mile round trip, and then it then found the route. You don't have to do that one, you can keep pressing and find a new route and it'll keep doing routes kind of around your area. So I think this has found one that was like 36 miles long and taking about 55 minutes to do the journey. Tell you what, that V4 engine, it does pull you. Back in the day when this bike was produced, it had 85% of its torque under 3,500 RPM, which meant this bike had the most torque under 4,000 RPM within its category. And I tell you what, you could definitely feel it. From down low, 3,000, it just pulls. So, seating position, my knees are a little bit bent due to the pegs being a little bit further back. So you may have to stretch out your leg every now and then. The good thing with the RNG is you can rest your leg. Seating position, top half, very relaxed. Handlebars are in a great comfortable position. You're not leaning forward and I'm not all the way back. Sat upright, it's that kind of nice comfortable in between. So I'm pretty happy with the ergonomics of this bike. To me, some of the three main things when you're looking for a touring style bike: ergonomics of how it feels when you're sitting on it, is it comfortable, how it handles, and then the capacity for the luggage. You get those three things spot on and I tell you what, you're going to have a fantastic time no matter where you go. Let's do a quick sound test. She looks beautiful. Single-sided swing arm. Quite a lairish front end, but I like that. Got the issued Terminology exhaust, probably decimated the term of that. Another nice feature of this bike is keyless start, but they have left the fuel cap with its key. Terminology exhaust. I think it's got a nice deep rich tone to it. Very nice. Obviously I had said about doing a little bit of off-roading. Me personally, the foot pegs aren't comfortable and the handlebars are too low. Yeah, the back of my feet hit something, probably the exhaust or something around there. Handlebars too low, I'm bent over, not a comfortable position to do any form of off-roading in, which is a shame. Tell you what, going through that last segment there, the suspension is very nice. I've been on other bikes where you're like on a buckaroo, absolutely pogoing you off when you go over the lumpy bits. But that there was just really nice and plush and just took the road in its stride. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching this video. This has not been a full rider review of the Ducati Multistrada. This has just been my first ride ever on a Ducati Multistrada Pikes Peak edition as well. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and then hit the bell notification so you'll get notified of all new videos coming out from DSR. We've got plenty of bikes lined up for you for 2022. Until the next one, ride safe.